But there's a difference between acting and between relying upon our acts. Sidi Ahmad Zuruk explains this in the following way. He says that there's 3 types of people. He said that one person, when he slips up, he said this person that will, this is a person that hope increases when he acts and it decreases when he that slips up. And he describes this person because this is a person that is focused on his own action. And he's relying upon his actions to achieve what it is that he wants. Now the amazing thing is, this is a very foreign language to the modern world. But look at what we can contribute to the modern world. Because with some people, when they hear that, what do you mean? I'm doing it. What do you mean I'm not? How can I not? No, listen to what he's saying. Right? That, are you really the one doing it? Yes, you are the one doing it. But how are you doing it? Where did you get your life? Where did you get your mind? Where did you get your power and your strength to do anything that you do? Everything is from Allah. And even when we say something is wahabi or it's kasbi, it's a divine gift or it's earned, quote unquote, even all blessings that quote unquote, that kasbiya, that they're acquired, the reality is that they're from Allah. Because where did you get everything that you need in order to do those things to receive what it is that you're doing? Everything ultimately is a mohiba from Allah, is a divine gift. So yes, you are the one acting, but we're not supposed to rely upon our acts to achieve what it is that we want to achieve. Now this person is not necessarily, according to Sidi Ahmad Zarruq, that in a bad state. If he continues doing this, he's from those that are acting. But if he falls short, he's considered to be from the heedless. And then he quotes a verse, وَلْتَنْظُرْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ لِغَدْ. Let every soul look to what they have put forth for tomorrow. So this is the first person. This is the lowest of the 3. The second is that someone, when they slip up, they are increased in a state where they turn to Allah Ta'ala. They slip up and they turn to Allah Ta'ala. And when they do acts of goodness, they increase in gratitude. So this is a higher state. So someone increases in gratitude when they act, and that they turn more to Allah when they fall short. And when they act, because they realize it is a blessing of Allah Ta'ala upon them that they've had the ability to act. And when they fall short and they slip up, is that they flee to Allah. So this person can be said to be relying upon the bounty of his Lord. This person is in a better state than the previous one. So that he turns to Allah Ta'ala in states of sarra and darra, in states of ease and in states of hardship. And he turns in states of ease to Allah by praising Allah and by thanking Him, and in states of hardship by realizing his impoverishment before his Lord. And he says this person is putting into action the following verse in Surah An-Nahl. وَمَا بِكُم مِّن نِعْمَةٍ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ. And that there is all blessings that you have are from Allah. ثُمَّ إِذَا مَسَّكُمَ الضُّرُّ فَإِلَيْهِ تَجْأَرُونَ. And then that when you are touched by harm or hardship, is it unto Him that you cry out. Okay, this is the person who's in this state of when they slip up, they increase, I slipped up, and they really turn to Allah. And that sometimes that you slip up. And by you turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's a means for you to draw near to Him. It's a means for Him to forgive you and to raise you to a higher station. Now that doesn't mean that you intentionally slip up for that. No, you do your best to obey Allah and to do what it is you can. And then when you slip up, you turn to Allah Ta'ala even more. And then you have the highest of the 3 states, which is really difficult to even put into words, because these people are experiencing a very different reality. These are people who act upon the words of Allah. قُلِ اللَّهِ ثُمَّ ذَرْهُمْ فِي خَوْضِهِمْ يَلْعَبُونَ. Say Allah, then leave them into their delving, and they're just playing around. فِي خَوْضِهِمْ يَلْعَبُونَ. And these are people that are that immersed in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and have completely submitted to Him. And that these are people that they are thinking about the sabiq al-qismah, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has apportioned things for each individual, and some people are going to paradise and some people are going to the fire. Nasallahu ta'ala salamun afir, may we all be people of paradise, ya arhamar rahimin. And so that the first person has realized the station of Islam. The second person has realized the station of Iman. And the third person has realized the station of Ihsan. And then that the commentators say about this, من بلغ إلى حقيقة الإسلام لم يقدر أن يفتر عن العمل. When our Islam becomes realized within ourselves, when we've reached the true nature, the reality of Islam, is that we'll never be tired of doing righteous deeds, of works, amal. وَمَنْ بَلَغَ إِلَى حَقِيقَةِ الْإِيمَانِ. Whoever reaches the reality of Iman, لَمْ يَقْدِرْ أَنْ يَلْتَفِتْ إِلَى الْعَمَلِ. He won't be able to turn towards his actions, i.e. he doesn't notice them. وَمَنْ بَلَغَ إِلَى حَقِيقَةِ الْإِحْسَانِ. Whoever reaches the reality of Ihsan, لَمْ يَقْدِرْ أَنْ يَلْتَفِتْ إِلَى أَحَدٍ سِوَى اللَّهِ تَعَالَى. That he's not able to turn to anyone other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that this explains, in slightly different words, those three stations that we just talked about. So let's just review this hikam then and talk about how that we can bring it then into our own lives. And one of the main take-homes here is that our fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and that our hope in Him subhanahu wa ta'ala should always be there in all states. Whether we are doing a lot of righteous works or whether we are not. Whether we slip up or whether we don't. Now, again, let's go back to everything we just said. This doesn't mean that you don't try to do your best. No, that's a given in a context like this. But it also opens up the door for us to understand what people end up doing and how they spiral downwards when they lose hope. And that oftentimes people lose hope because of what they actually do. So even someone that doesn't even believe, there's still hope for that person to believe and die on faith. Even someone who believes and they're falling short in everything, there's still a way for that person to get themselves together even if they have one breath left. And we should never ever close the door on anyone. Rather, we should help everyone do whatever it is that they can. But when that we are outwardly striving to do what it is that we can, is that our hope and our fear have to be related to the real reasons we should have hope and fear. Our hope should not just be in what it is that we do, although we should do righteous deeds. Our hope should be in relation that Allah is Ar-Rahman. And that our fear should not just be that when we slip up and we never intend to sin and we seek forgiveness and have a burning remorse when we do, but our fear should